next word in my Word of the Day series in association with Mrs. Wordsmith. Now, this word is kind of a bit of a fun word. So it is an adjective, and it's an adjective that can be used to describe quite a lot of different things. And I bet that you've got loads of fun examples of this word that maybe you didn't even realise. So I'm not going to hang around, we're going to get straight into it. The word of the day today is unruly. Unruly, and it means wild, rowdy and rebellious, like long frizzy hair at the beach. Wild, rowdy and rebellious, like long frizzy hair at the beach. Now, confession time, guys. I didn't wake up with my hair done in a little bun like this. No, no, no. Ladies, and maybe gentlemen too, you are going to hear me when I explain this one to you. When I woke up this morning, my hair was all over the place. It was all messy. It was all kind of like crinkled up where I'd slept like that and on the pillow, and it had all gone crinkly and frizzy, and it kind of looked a little bit crazy. So that is kind of what unruly means. It means out of control, wild, rowdy, rebellious, and it did look a bit like that, my hair this morning. So you've probably experienced that too, especially if you've got long hair. And if you've got long hair, then you'll know what it's like when you go to the beach and you really want to play in the sea and all that kind of stuff, or in the pool, it may be if you're on holiday, or even if we go swimming at school, you get out of a pool and your hair's kind of all over the place and it's like frizzy and it just doesn't look right and it doesn't look neat. So that is what unruly means. It kind of means wild and out of control. But this word is not just a word that we can use to describe hair. It's actually a word that we can use to describe all sorts of different things. So, for example, some of you might have little brothers and sisters, and when they're really little, they can be a little bit unruly, can't they? If you say, oh, you've got to stay inside and you've got to do this, that, and you try and tell them, they can kind of be like, no, I just want to run around and I want to play and I want to do all these crazy things. So you might have experienced that. I have got two very unruly creatures that live in my house. They have tails, they have four legs, they have whiskers and little furry ears. They are very unruly. Yes, these guys, Winston and Jeffrey, are very unruly. They have very unruly personalities. They are wild, rowdy, rebellious, out of control. You can't just say, come on guys, sit down and be calm. They like to run around in the garden. They like to chase things. They like to try and catch little flies and sometimes other things too. And sometimes you'll be there relaxing on the sofa, chilling out, and all of a sudden they'll decide that they're going to have a play or a play fight, and they'll roll around on the floor, and it doesn't matter whether you say, come on guys, stop it. They're just unruly. They're unruly. You can't tell them what to do. So that is our word of the day today, unruly. And as you can see from the definition up here and the picture down here, it means wild, rowdy and rebellious, like long frizzy hair at the beach. And poor old Mrs. Wordsmith in that picture, her hair is very unruly. You can see it's kind of all over the place. She's trying to brush it and make it look neat, but it's not really working. It's kind of a little bit like what my hair looked like this morning, except in the picture Mrs. Wordsmith has these crabs in her hair and I didn't have crabs. Mine just looked super messy. So that is our word of the day today. The word is unruly, and it means wild, rowdy or rebellious, like long frizzy hair at the beach. Okay, you're going to have two challenges to do with this word today. Challenge number one is your handwriting. Now, in the past few days, I've sort of said to people, you know, to really focus on those letter formations. I know yesterday that I mentioned about the height of a letter T not being quite as tall as some of the other letters. Now, today there's an L in our word, and an L is a full height letter, so it should reach all the way up to the top line and then sit neatly on the bottom line. So that's one thing I'm going to be looking out for, a nice, straight, tall L. And you could even try and write the word unruly and the word tempestuous next to each other and check that your L is taller than your T. That would be a really good thing to try. The other thing that I'm going to be looking for in your handwriting today is your Y. Now, I don't know if I can do this backwards. Let me see. So your Y is going to start and it's going to go Y all the way down, and you're going to have a nice curly tail. The reason that we have that curly tail is so that we can join on to the next letter. Now, I know that in the word unruly, the Y is the last letter, so you're not going to be joining on to the next letter, but it's really good to just have it there, because if there were another letter, then you would have your lovely curly tail ready to join onto it. So I'm going to be looking for nice, tall, straight L. It would be great if you can show me how your L is taller than a T, so maybe write unruly and tempestuous next to each other. I'm also going to be looking for a nice curly loopy Y, but not super long and huge, just really small and neat. Okay, challenge number 1, handwriting. Go. Okay, challenge number 2 is a bit of a fun challenge. You do not have to do this challenge, but you absolutely must ask a grown-up before you do it. So, on World Book Day, we did something a little bit different this year, in March, just gone. So we told children that they could dress up as their favourite book character, just like normal, or they could dress up as their favourite Mrs. Wordsmith word. Now, we did have some fantastic costumes, and there were a couple of children who dressed up as the word unruly. And remember, unruly means wild, rowdy and rebellious, like long, frizzy hair at the beach. So your optional second challenge today is to dress up or do your hair as the word unruly. So I've got a few examples here to show you. Okay, remember, guys, that you absolutely must ask a parent or guardian before you go getting out the hair brushes and the hairspray and using it all and things like that. So please don't do this challenge if you haven't asked a grown-up first. You will still get your dojos for your handwriting, so you're not going to miss out. But if you're doing the fun challenges and you're getting things out, it is just important that you ask first. So I really look forward to seeing your unruly hairstyles. Okay, thanks for joining me for our word of the day. The word of the day, remember, is unruly, which means wild, rowdy and rebellious, like long frizzy hair at the beach. Have an amazing day, guys, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for another word of the day. Bye.